Are you interested in building your own shipping container house? In this video, we're going to teach you how we frame out the interior of our shipping container homes. Hi, this is Tony with Alternative Living Spaces, where we help investors expand their Airbnb portfolio, homeowners add extra living space to their property, and retirees find freedom through alternative living. In these next few videos, I want to provide you with all the information you need to build your very own shipping container home. It's now time to begin the construction of the interior of your container. The first thing you'll want to do is framing. There's a few different options for how you frame your container. The most common options for framing are using wood studs, metal studs, or a specialty product called Insofast. For wood studs, it's most common to use 2x4s. We typically use 2x4 wood studs since it's a standard construction product that people are comfortable using and provides a more rigid framework for your interior walls. If you frame out your interior with 2x4s, your interior width when finished out will be about 83 inches. Metal studs are also a great option. One of the benefits of metal studs is that they last long and don't rot or grow mold from exposure to condensation. Lastly, there's a product called Insofast. It's a rigid foam product that is a combination of both framing and insulation in one panel. We've used Insofast on a lot of our builds and would consider this a good option for someone who doesn't have experience with traditional framing. One of the other benefits of Insofast is that when it's properly installed, it functions as a vapor barrier, meaning you don't have to worry about water issues related to condensation or sweating inside the container walls. There's a few key things to keep in mind when doing framing. First, if you plan on hanging up a TV, upper cabinetry, or possibly a barn door, you'll want to install additional studs for backing or headers where needed. This is important to ensure you have something to attach to when you start installing your finishing items down the road. Some of you may have followed our past builds and seen our wood beams that we've done in our units. If you're looking to do this in your unit, you'll want to make sure you have studs properly placed in the ceiling that you can attach to once you need to install your beams. We typically will install our shower pan during this stage as well. This is a good way to make sure your bathroom is framed out to the right size. The last thing you want is to have your bathroom framed out and then you realize your shower pan won't fit properly. Lastly, if you're doing a pocket door for a bedroom or bathroom, you'll want to have the pocket door frame installed during the framing stage as well. Okay, now for the nitty-gritty of framing. Because the most common framing method is using wood 2x4s, that is what we're going to focus on in this video. For 2x4 framing, if you're going to be doing your own framing, there are some tools that will be essential to get the job done. These tools will include having a good chop saw, a good nail gun, framing hammer, 90-degree layout square, and a level. You can create your wood frames on the ground and then install them into the container. For wood framing, we typically do 16-inch on-center for the studs. This helps provide a good backing for you to install your shiplap, drywall, or whichever other interior wall finish you plan to use. You can create your own wood frames on the ground and then install them into the container. For clarity, the studs are the vertical members of your wall that will connect your top and bottom plates. For the bottom plate, we use one 2x4, and for the top plate, we use two. The purpose of the double top plate is to give you the ability to fasten two sections of a wall together. When connecting two walls, the second top plate can overlap onto the other frame. You'll need to make one longer and the other shorter so that you'll simultaneously create a fill and a void. Where the two meet, it's best to fasten the walls with 4 nails or screws. When framing out the doors and windows, you'll want to install headers above each. Headers help to transfer the load to the studs on both sides and prevent extra weight from being pushed onto the window or door itself. The longer the distance that the header has to span and the more it supports, the more substantial it needs to be. A sill, or sometimes called a saddle, is a 2x4 at the bottom of the window rough opening. The sill varies from a single piece to a double piece. A double sill will provide more structural support for larger windows and also provides more nailing surface for your window trim. The last item when framing out your doors and windows is called a cripple. These are studs that fill the space above a header and below a sill. They carry the weight of the window itself. When you get to framing out a corner in a room or any other space in your home, you'll want to have additional studs where those frames meet so you have backing for your interior wall finish to grab to that will be coming from each side and meeting in the corner. Doing your framing properly will set you up for success for many future steps. When we're installing our frames, we'll typically nail our bottom plate to the container wood floor and recommend securing the top plate or ceiling frame to the container. It's important to use your level and your 90-degree layout squares throughout this process. These will ensure that your walls stay square and are perfectly upright. If you want to learn more about building shipping container homes, go ahead and click the link in the description below to download our free container home guide. In the guide, I share my 5 biggest lessons I've learned building shipping container homes in order to help ensure that your build is a success.